Say now obi to catch and so again was say and I Yankopon bi by Israel memo Emma ababa bi a friend of Mary ewo no and oh ye na so no sorry 2000 years ne mote Ghana mo chain do and so father just 2 years ago there was a rest in peace kwasi ampani. Oh, father died just last year. Also, rest in peace. Somebody died 2,000 years ago. You are still here in Ghana waiting for that person. Where Jimmy Chiminti? Kasiampani. Kasiaba. But that's not the years wachi. Ube who are we? It's not hot. Not the years wachi. Ube who are we?
Abusiafo, me mamo, good morning, good afternoon, and I say good evening, depending on maybe I will share me free. 11 I shall say since the 1st of May. What has your experience be? Medium in tria be enti mua modikan etriano. Mo share mo experience with us on this WhatsApp number. Eno na mo ho mo screen so no se na be ayen so ye betimi ehu the way a nneoma esiko anase the way a situation no esitie is as simple as that. Afrifa Okatakyie Mensah edi ensem bi atodwan tebusua yeni kan yentie no na seria I'll throw more light on it.
Now, this is the untold truth about Africa and Mother Ghana. Tienye. This is the untold truth about Africa, Mother Africa. Africa nie, follow me nie nkomo. Africa nie, follow me nie nkomo. Untold truth about Africa very simple. Yanko next speech. Yanko Ralph Famiko. Good. So, offer Africa nyina. The total land size of Africa, including Madagascar, Aisha, 30.37 million kilometers square. Tienye. Obatiana, wamo dada, Africa is overpopulated. Africa is overpopulated. No mako fire, there no mudi kuye. Ni empeni mfoni tibon koso o magwene mframa bebre jina mu chain. Adwene na anka sentino. Wamo so yaka bibia no majadi. Wamo enye any research. Empenifo na angasa, they are the whims and whams of these so-called superpowers. Meanwhile, you cannot continue to be under any so-called superpower when you sit on a vast land of 30.37 million kilometers square. So Africa, Africa kakraka nyina ye 30.37 kilometers square. And so you draw Africa map now. Wamo shada no ma draw on ketuwa bi say be ya imagery. It will have an imprint on your mind. They say Africa, Africa, now, Ralph, I'm going next one. 1, 2, 3. Over China. China is superpower with me assemble Africa continent for one penny for the Tibon Koso African leaders. China Timiya China Africa Summit. Now, mind you, China na superpower and they want to me assemble the whole Tibon Koso African leaders, 54 Tibon Koso heads of state. Wotimi asembu omu nyina so wo China Africa Summit no. China ye 9.6 million kilometers square. If I make back in Africa. So Africa is 30.37 kilometers square. China is bring back China. China is 9.6. So obviously Africa is about 3 times the size of China. Tienye follow Tibonkosu leadership. They are airheads. The leadership of this continent, with the exception of few, very airheads, they are Tibonkoso. How can a country, 9.6 million kilometers square, ever assemble a leadership of a continent that is 30.37 kilometers square? Or say a China Africa Summit? Nonsense. Now, yanko next one, which is the United States of America. And they are from United States of America, a world superpower. The United States of America assemble Tibon Kosu 54 heads of state. Say what person no omoya summit. It's US Africa Summit. You go back to Africa. Africa is 30.37. If I'm going United States of America. Now United States of America is 9.8 million kilometers square. So United States of America over Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. United States of America kakrake omoye world superpower. Omutimi assemble 54 Tibon Koso heads. My camera, which one is my camera? This one, right? Good. Omutimi assemble 54 Tibon Koso African heads of state, United States is only 9.8 million kilometers square. If I make go back to Africa, back to Africa, Africa is 30.37 kilos. So when you have Tibonkoso people sitting on 30.37 kilometers square, obviously you should know that you are doomed. Now let's go back. Okay, so United States of America, 9.87, which means Africa is about 3 times the size of United States of America. But still, Tibonkoso heads of state, they cannot think, they cannot reason. They only make noise. They form AU, a very defunct institution that a Tibonkoso penning for and are for me. But make our next one. This is the area size of Europe, over Europe, over Finland, over Sweden, Norway, Estonia, Russia, over Ireland, over Belgium, Switzerland, France, over Monaco, Vatican City, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, Turkey, Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan, the whole Europe, no, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, Czech Republic, Bosnia, Montenegro, Kosovo. Over the whole of these Yankofua, Omoland size, any Omoland size, 10.18, 10.18, 10.18. If I may go back to Africa, this is Europe. Africa is 30.37. So, Oka China, Eka America, Eka Europe, Ebomwa, they cannot even match up to Africa. But because you have Tibonkoso heads of state, because one penny for my granny from a genemu a chain, Sabio, I drain a timid granny as soon as you're quite in. They sit down and Europe, sometimes it's not even the whole Europe. France, France to me assemble the whole African continent, say, France Africa Summit. Are you okay? Are you guys okay? What goes on in your head? The leadership of this continent. And then a cost in your head that little country like France can assemble a whole continent and say, France Africa Summit. Because the people that lead this continent, because Nkrofo mu lead the African continent, you know, omu the friend inferiority complex. Omu no enye se bia sa Kwame Nkrumah da yeso papa bie, sa Julius Kambarada nyere de mo da yeso Ubuntu, because you live I live. Sa da yeso papa bi da emanate from the likes of Jomo Kenyatta. There are some people like Thomas Sankara mono. And no yet sa da yeso no mo de ba o. The only reason they are leaders of this, especially Akufo-Addo, is because in their head they think it is their bona fide right to be leaders of this continent. Obviously, they think it is their bona fide right to be leaders of this continent. And look at Europe land size. That is 10.18 million square kilometers. Now, Fameko next. So Africa is bigger than all of Europe, China and the United States combined. What the China share Africa more say that baby a 1 year. African continent in ini. What the China share more baby a war. China line size in any. What the America, what the Mexico share Africa more. Africa land size. What the Mexico share more Mexico near. What the United States of America share Africa more. This is it. India waha. East and West Europe, so when you put India, Mexico, China, United States, as I said, Africa is still bigger. I estimate now my Russia. It's me Russia African Summit because a nipa na wamudi di Africa ni muno. Sanko kurafona wamuntimi na ntia debi amuye say no. He Bonkoso heads of state. They don't even know what they sit on without value.
Yeah, that was a brilliant submission and I say analysis from Nana Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah. Africa is Sasao. Africa is not a small continent. Mahu the way Afrifa usi to ne boase. Efa USA e share Africa mu. Efa China e share Africa mu. Efa other EU nations e share Africa mu. Ne nyina etimi ekɔ mu no. Enompo ekire se Africa insa. Inti continent anka menka ne say as huge as Africa with all the natural resources, the whole world. Ope continent emebunu wo pa anka Africa. Aha ena emebunu wo. Aha ena all the natural resources ewo. Inti uhwe mu anko say ensese Macron etna France eto nsafre African leaders there be da and sasa Joe Biden etna Washington eto nsafre African leaders there be da and sasa Xi Jinping of China and ase Vladimir Putin of Russia etna Moscow and ase Beijing eto nsafre African leaders calling it Africa China summit, Africa European summit, Africa France summit and whatever summit there be. Uncle say African pennyfo mum na etna Africa. Eto nsafre on because one way or the other no, they need us more than we need them because resources are omu yusu edisiesi omu crew no. Dodo na no Africa ena free. Now so the reality is say it is not about the size of your continent. Neither is it about the size of your country. It is about the size of your thinking, the size of your brain, the size of your thinking, the size of your reasoning. So you can have the biggest continent in the world. You can have the biggest nation on earth. Semonpenimfo tibon kosofo. Na semonpenimfo yusu omuadwen. Na se mebunu no citizens no so ehu anything wrong with subanya and penimfo no eda na dina. You can be as huge as Russia. You can be as big as the ocean and have all the natural resources. Mon komonimu da. Omu man isa. Omu ni even half of sa resources na mo wono. Na so omu adwen eso. Omu dwen kwachiri saafo no ebetena omu kuromu. Ato nsa afre mo mpanimfo. Ama mo mpanimfo from 54 nations in Africa, Afroplane, Paris. And small boy Macron, say 39 or 40 years, Macron, akotenase, atwetwe enkomo say in the interest of both countries, mutual agreement, a win-win affair. There is nothing like win-win. Anytime we Africa for yempanimfo be share abrofo no bia no, there is nothing like win-win. You the poor man cannot go and sit down with the rich man on the negotiating table and think say near rich man obey biano will be in your best interest and I say a win-win between the two nations. There be the abrebiano, the greedy rich man will cheat the ignorant poor man. What you say? For example, one say yet Africa ha and a brofu bechere you say so your lawyer near so could you not call to them dear somewhere I was say we share week. For so many years in Abrafona on bechere saadie no Abrafona have moved on from that. He say hardly will you see an EU lawyer near ujina call to the asemwa or shed sa wigi na Ghana lawyer for no there be now so Abrafona bechere ye near Abrafona po atuagua or muaku mu animo no Africa for there ye go so ete ha ekra week a free bruni crum e de she three so all in the name of being lawyers or judges. It's one who say your name yet Africa ha first now there was no actual demarcation in Africa. We were living in kingdoms. And now Abrafo baye is an imperialism, is an colonial rule. Abrafo bechere say Ghana fuwe and I say Gold Coast to fuwe. Say there even Gold Coast nompo Abrafo ne beto yesadi no. Baye who say we had a lot of gold in Ghana and omutu yedin Gold Coast. Baye no and chere say Gold Coast to fuwe. Say baby amuwe monia santifo ewefo achemfo northerners any hwan mu na ye kamwa bom na ya frem the Gold Coast na a free na koi so shall it be forever and ever. Say free Africa mpo ekoye kuromu a say mu ya Gold Coast Togo fuwe mo so ye frem Togo, Benin fuwe mo so ye frem Benin, Nigeria fuwe mo so Igbo fuo, Yoruba for Sokoto for Fulani for ye kamu nabum afremu Nigeria muntie ni American. A free ne kuri, whether you have your independence or not, should a Ghanaian cross this imaginary line and enter Togo, you will be called a foreigner in Togo. And Togo fuwe, once they are foreigners, let them not stay in your country for more than 2 months. They have to go back because they don't belong here. They are foreigners. Is that clear? And we said, yes, sir. Mo Nigeria fuwe. The moment you cross this imaginary line and enter Benin, mo are foreigners. If you cross Benin to Togo, you are even crossing your boundary. You are overdoing it. If you cross Togo and enter Ghana, you are a complete foreigner. Ghanaians can maltreat you anyhow they want. Ghanaians can do whatever they want to you. Ghanaians should not give you your peace of mind to stay in their country. Why? Because you are a Nigerian and not a Ghanaian. Forget about your color. Forget about your common ancestry. Forget about your blood. The moment you cross this imaginary line that we the Europeans have set for you, you will be called a foreigner in this part of the territory. We said yes, sir. Ebesine Abrofunu have even moved on beyond that. So, if you live in any EU country, with just your passport, you can travel across any EU country and live in any EU country and work with no discrimination, with no issues of threat, with no issues with immigration whatsoever. Abrofunu ehun say unity is, strength. Abrofunu ehun say my bia anase as a people. Some person we a formidable people. Na some person mutimi ekomanimu a e wo se mutimi kam ho ebom. Enti abrofunu mpo aka omo ho abom ebesine Africans are still holding on to the colonial borders that these white people came to set for us. Yeah, change say abrofo krona besa ka kire say hey before Jimmy mon come nim mu is aboda nim free honanka the whole Africa with just your ID card you have the right to travel and live in any African country or nation of your choice. Ebesi ne ye change say abrofo no mom and ebe kire say hey you guys must be able to move on. Yeah, you see again. So you see when you na dia dance here say it's not about the size of your continent. Neither is it about the size of your nation or country or whatever you choose to call it. It's about the size of your thinking capacity. Say niamusi edwin. Angola modwin efa. And foresighter mompeni for ewo. Africa. The problem with Africa is say those with ideas don't have power. And those with power don't have ideas. And no any problem.
The problem with Africa is that those who have ideas have no power and those with power have no ideas. and that in many ways still informs. So you have all these ideas on how we can green Africa. I listen to you and I can see you are babbling with ideas. But you don't have the power. And the fellow with power has completely no idea.
I don't think I hear you. And nothing I hear bring. Obi to say Afrifa Mensah or all the idea. Ye money to me da. Say Afrifa mpo ye na dwen say ojina for Ghana mampania. Ghana for em to money da. They'll have things to say. Say oh he's too young. And now he's too this and he's too that. Only Africa. And I say a young person to me I can say he's too young to govern or lead the country. Why? Because ya brainwashing ama we have that mentality say old age comes with wisdom. In some sense, it can be true. But in other sense, it is not entirely true because the fact is say when you know nkyerese woni nyansa, you ompani fon kwasiafo. Say so na ye wo eye emofra omunim nyansa. Intinka age has got nothing to do with one's ability to lead a nation. A whole country as powerful as France. How old is their president? Now, so Africa, a nkokrafo, tibon kosofo, abrofo, nkokrafo ni penifo, they don't want to see the African youth progress. They don't want to see their own continent develop. In Tiabribiano, they run abroad. They run abroad. Eho na omo to omo adan, eho na omo yo moja padie, eho no bank account wo omo yare abrochire, aduane abrochire, tade abrochire, bibia abrochire. Eno nti na ye bre no. So you can have all the natural resources. You can have the biggest continent on earth and have everything at your disposal. So more dream match the size of your continent. Now say more you so more dream more upgrading more dream and chassis and out of the box. I'm telling you, believe you me. Omo countries sir. Empo omo resources is sir. Betna omo krum. Atonsa African penifo nyina. Now the most painful thing is that we hate each other again. Ye tan ye ho pa. And already ya move into Francophone Africa, Anglophone Africa, Portuguese Africa, and Anglophone Africans report their issues to their slave masters in London. The same way, the Portuguese report to Lisbon in Portugal, and again, the Francophone part of Africa also reports to their masters in Paris, France. It is a Yokoshia AU meeting asia. Na se imposenka ye discuss say ebia efri na credit say ni na ye ba ya se ne be ya ye betimi abreak sa imperialism no na Africa yetimi aka amaman ni na abomu no omo free ho a eye wenya krampo no ubenya se ebia Togo mampani ebetwe phone e dia frɛ Macron say hello Macron me say sa ko diva mampani oye tu no Macron wo de tie na make no sa ko diva for mampani oye tu no me say ene ye share AU meeting ase obi anhwa me say ene ye share AU meeting ase me say tu no pa eye ono kra ne ko raise say yen Francophone Africa for no yen nyai se fani you so sene be ya mo Paris for no mo nya yesika biem sa colonial tax no ye beja itua me say Ivory Coast mampani na ko kan say e wo say yen French for ni nanka ye ka ye ho ebom sene be anka mo France for no mo ntimi enya to me we so biem ubenya Togo mampani say anye Togo mpo a is just an example I'm citing me nka say sa na foreign yasin be etie e example na me citing se we nya Togo mampani mpo a ebia obenya be Cameroon mampani obefre and say Congo mampani obefre the slave master are reported. So every time we have saboteurs and traitors among us, sa nom de Kwame Nkrumah abrofo no call ye no ene ye shaase ye shaase de Kwame Nkrumah ho nsem ene ni policies ene modern mo ana Kwame Nkrumah ebo e de ma abrofo no ene partnership ana Ghana ene Russia for wo ye kan ni nyina kire America for no atomic energy ana Russia for ebo Ghana ama Ghana for esini wo and I say Ghana for any bi Ghana and na ye report ye this answer me na come America for and through the CIA America for eyi Kwame Nkrumah eto akonya and I say ewro Kwame Nkrumah ene mo mpaboa and na Kwame Nkrumah ko wu ya ewo obi mai so wi ye no ene ye ma ni funu so because Ghana for do funu ye ma ni funu so e de firi ho e be si no Ghana abribia ye tan ye ho now so say abrofo no ko hia ye meeting a obie ni ho a obepie afa phone afre any African leader say meeting na say this and that was what was discussed yemma yadwenu nya adwuma enuti na Africa yenkwa ani mu da no because we hate each other ye tan ye ho to the extent they say the South African will better be xenophobic against their own black people than to be xenophobic against abrofo noa or muama. South Africa has been divided into two. The rich part of South Africa, the most beautiful part of South Africa, the most luxurious part of South Africa is being inhabited by the whites. And the poor neighborhoods, baby a tino, baby a fino, baby a enkoyino, a ho and a blacks before no etie. Now so when they get up, they better be xenophobic against their fellow black people than to be xenophobic against the white people. Why? Because that is how they have been conditioned to see Bruni say, Bruni there. So who Bruni was South Africa or your investor. So who Bruni was South Africa or Basse or Beboa South Africa for name. So who Ghana ni, Nigeria ni, Zimbabwe ni, Kenya ni, Botswana ni, Namibia ni, Mozambique ni was South Africa. They are criminals. They are there to only sleep with their women. They are there to destroy South Africans. They hate South Africans. They are enemies of South Africans and they rise against them because and no any conditioning and as a programming they are to your dream. That is why some of us are on social media. Mejumani say, I will educate the masses. Beginning with Ghana, and until I make kasemuno, eya metama chi kasa dosono because you say charity begins at home. Liberation must begin from home. So many kind of Ghana for Adrian Juma. I will suffer or struggle to liberate the minds of other Africans. Charity must begin at home. Say me di kan Emma Ghana for adwene adwuma. Ghanaians will give me the needed support to liberate other Africans who equally find themselves with the chains of mental slavery. Mumaya mayadre no nye adwuma. Anya sa abribia no abrofo no will sit in their countries and invite African leaders and they'll run to go and be among them and behave like fools. Now so anko say Africa for and etna Africa eto ensa efre abrofo no and not the other way around. But you say you want a big continent with all the gargantuan resources now, so ya dream any thinking and match it up to the size of our continent in Abribiano. Small boy Macron can sit in Paris and invite 70-year-olds, 78-year-olds, 80-year-olds, 60-year-olds, African leaders, and they'll run from their respective countries to go and sit down with Macron in Paris because ya dream no anye juma. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Yabusia for made them we be see. Asani amu na mu ni the chairman Freemind. Makram.